Hello everyone, in this video I'll be ranking the best battle axes and hand axes in Baldur's Gate 3 on a tier list. Now, hand axes are simple melee weapons that deal a 1d6 of damage, and battle axes are martial weapons that do 1d8 if you one-handed, or a 1d10 if you two-hand them. Now, I'll be talking about some special ones at the end, but first off, we got ourselves just a regular old hand axe. So, this one is obviously just going to go into the roleplay tier. Same as the rusty hand axe that we got next to it. This is found in Act 3. They just do a 1d6, nothing extra special, and it is slashing damage that they deal. However, next we got ourselves the comeback hand axe. Now, this is actually really funny because you get this from the Circus of the Last Days in Act 3, and it's called the comeback hand axe because you can throw it and it'll return to you. The only downside is when it returns to you, it hits you. So it's not a weapon you want to use often, but it is a funny one. So yeah, it's a simple weapon. You get it from the Akabi the Genie in Act 3, and it's a consolation prize. So some funny interactions that you got. It is a hidden homing weapon, but since it does hit you, I'm just going to put it in the roleplay tier because I don't think there's any usefulness for it besides, being funny. So yeah, comeback axe, or roleplay tier. Next, we got ourselves the Dragon's Grasp. So this is another, I guess I got to realign these. The Dragon's Grasp will deal an additional 1d4 of slashing damage to burning targets. So similar to the Fire Stoker, which is a hand crossbow that you can get. Extra damage, always nice. Now, this tier list, the unfortunate part, I'll be honest with you guys, hand axes and battle axes aren't really that great. Great axes, on the other hand, are great, which I'll talk about at the end, but this one's probably, I'll put it in B tier, maybe A tier if you really want to use damage riders, because it deals an additional 1d4. There's just not that many good ones, so I guess in the tier list, ranking them, it's better than a lot of the rest of them, so I'll put it in the A tier. Next, we got ourselves hand axe +1. C tier does 1d6 +1 damage, nothing extra special about it. But the next weapon also hurts the user, so we do have some pretty rough ones. So this is the Ritual Axe, and this is a chance to inflict a 1d4 penalty to attack rolls and saving throws, so it can apply Bane on hit. Now, the only issue is if the attacker has, it says 25 or less, or 25 or more health, 25% health or more, they will take 1d6 piercing damage. And the thing is, if you got anything that's going to increase piercing damage, you'll take more piercing damage. If you have the savage attacker, you take more piercing damage. So it does say 25%, but a little footnote here, it's actually 50%. So if you have less than 50% health, this is a good axe. So it could be decent on a berserker. It does hurt you otherwise. I'm just going to put it in the B tier because this list is pretty bare bones. There's not that many good axes. So having Bane on hit can be kind of nice. And we also have a cleaver here, so roleplay tier. It's just a 1d6 damage. Nothing great really about it. But getting into the battle axes, this is where things are a little bit better because battle axes will do 1d8 damage. You can use them with a shield. And you can also do them two-handed. So first things first, regular old battle axe, 1d8 damage. It may even be like C tier on this list because there's just not that many good ones. Next, we got ourselves a battle axe +1, which has a +1 enhancement. It's a little bit better. I'll put it in the top of the C tier. I don't know if we have really any S tier options, but I'll talk about a few that could potentially be S tier when we get later into this list, I guess. But next we have the ceremonial battle axe. I have two hand axes right here. I just wanted to show these off because they do look cool. And what's funny is when you put them on your back, they literally on your back like that. So they look really nice. Like, look at the details on that weapon. It's really good looking, but they're not that good. So yeah, that's the only downside. Like, simple melee weapons are fair at best. I guess I'll just show them off in combat. Oh, we got some pretty good damage at 12. I guess I have a strength potion. 12 and 2. It's okay. Sorry, Shadowheart. But yeah, I'll show off these axes again. But getting into things, ceremonial battle axe. This is in Act 1 whenever you're looking to get the Blood of Lathander. If you don't want to trap Astarion in the little ring and have the thing explode on him, you can get the ceremonial axe to disengage it. You do need some of the other ceremonial weapons. There's 3 of them that you need to get. It functions the same as a +1 battle axe, but I'm going to put it in the B tier because it has some involvement in a plot. So I'm doing anything to boost these up because battle axes just aren't that great. But again, I'll be talking about some great axes at the end of this video just to kind of wrap things up. But Next, we got what I think is one of the best in this list, which is the Witch Breaker. Now, this gives advantage on attack rolls against concentrating creatures. It is a 1d8 plus 1 enhancement, and it has a special skill called the Hush You, which can silence a target, which is nice, and it recharges on short rest. So you can buy this at the Kreshalek from Ajak near Jira. So, advantage is applied to all attacks against concentrating creatures while this weapon is equipped, including spell attacks and attacks with ranged weapons. So that is, I guess, for that, I will put in the S tier, because that's, I mean, you could just equip this, and if you're a spellcaster that doesn't have a good, you know, if you don't have anything that's good, you can be a good mage buster with this. So yeah, S, if it was on any other tier list, it'd probably be B to C tier. It's just, there's no good axes really, or no good axes outside of great axes, we'll put it that way. Next, we got the Thermodynamo Axe. Now, this is interesting. It's a 1d8 plus 1. It's a rare weapon. And what it does is whenever you deal damage, you get 2 turns of heat. Now, it also has Cleave, but Cleave doesn't give you multiple stacks. If you hit 3 people, you only get the 2 turns of heat. So, it's okay. If you really want to go with a heat build, I'll put it in the A tier. I don't know where that came from. That's weird. I thought I had more down here. Anyways, so yeah, heat builds can benefit from this. Oh, I forgot to talk about the Pact-Bound Battle Axe. So this is the Warlock version. Whenever you summon your own pact weapon, it just does 1d8 damage, no magical enhancement, but it counts as magical damage, so C tier. This list is rough. There's not that many good ones. When we put a weapon in there that it just gives advantage on attack rolls against concentrating creatures, that could actually go good. Like if you do a sorcerer that's like a fire sorcerer, level 6, it wouldn't be a bad option to have that if you want to use Scorch and Ray for advantage on attack rolls against other concentrating foes. So it could be okay. Finally, we have the Vicious Battle Axe, 1d8 plus 2. This is the only plus 2 on this entire list, so hey, got a nice little boost there. And it has the Dolor Armaris, which gives a critical hit. Whenever you hit a critical hit, you do 7 more damage. That's pretty nice. You can only get this from the Murder Tribunal if you accept Baal and become an unholy assassin. So, pretty steep price to pay there. Now, the Dolor Amaris is Latin for harsh suffering or bitter sorrow. So, just want to throw a little fun fact in there because there's not many great weapons in here. This is probably A tier on this list, but really, I'll be honest, most of these weapons kind of stink. The Witchbreaker giving advantage on attack rolls is really the best benefit of these. So, yeah, they are kind of weak, but what's not weak is great axes, which we have a couple really great ones in this game. So I'll see here, Sethin. So Sethin is awesome because it gives you 1d12 damage. It also has the Sethin Spiritual Great Axe, so you can summon this in. It's a bonus action, and it hits pretty hard. It does 6 to 27 damage, has increased force damage, so that's pretty good. It can fly around. So yeah, this is a great one. This would go S tier. Sethin's nice. And also the Sethin axe will also give you the reduce, so you can make someone shrink, which is nice. So you can go ahead with this and make them tiny. So just like that, you're way bigger than them and they get a penalty to their attacks. So they get a 1d4, deal 1d4 less damage, disadvantage on stealth, strength checks, and saving throws, and less carrying capacity, so she's now over encumbered. So Sethin's a great battle axe, and then there's also, it might be in my chest there, but yeah, great axes are a little bit better because they do have a lot of options between. So there's the Sethin axe, there's also the Hellfire Great Axe, which oddly works as a cantrip with its spell, or it's a weapon action. It's a cantrip for some reason, Hellflame Cleave. So yeah, great axes are good. Hand axes kind of suck, and battle axes also suck. In reality, these are all probably B tier, but I just want to try and keep this a little bit balanced among the others. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the battle axes and great axes, or battle axes and hand axes in Baldur's Gate 3. If you found this video fun or useful, hit that subscribe button below. Let me know what kind of tier list you'd like to see next, and I'll see you all in the next video.